Hello everyone, God of Ka here. Before the video proper, I need you to go to the community tab on my channel and read the latest post. It's really important this information is out there. You can come back to the video or have this video play in the background if you want to listen to this and read the post at the same time. With that out of the way, let's continue. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love stories. Whether you believe it or not, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has its origins in storytelling. However, this knack for storytelling goes deeper into a really well-known media of Yu-Gi-Oh! The trading card game. How can cards tell a story? You start with normal monsters with their flavor text. After this, you make the art of each card meaningful enough to tell a story. This is the start of me digging into the library of cards Konami has made. Welcome to the ancient library of Yu-Gi-Oh! In today's session, we are digging up some lore of a famous Protect the Castle deck. We're reading up on the tale of the Bujin. Before we begin, please like and subscribe if you enjoy this scattered content I make so far. If you know anyone who would like my kind of things I do, share this video around and leave a comment as well. With the call to action out of the way, let's continue. What inspired me to study the tale of the Bujin? There is this Yugi-tuber called Golden Nova Yu-Gi-Oh! You may know him for his inserts archetype explained in X amount of minutes. He's currently on his way to making a video going over every card Akiza used in the 5Ds anime, but that video is locked behind a subscriber goal. Subscribe to him and tell him God of Ka sent you. Anyways, he made a video on Bujins and I was slightly disappointed in him. There was a story to be found in those cards. If he couldn't do it, then by Ra's mighty beak, I will. Now, in regards to the cards of the Bujin archetype, what is the beginning of finding its lore? Surprisingly, the villain of our tale, Bujin Hiruko. He is a light level 4 Beast Warrior Pendulum monster with a pendulum scale of 3 and 1000 attack and 2000 defense. His pendulum effect reflects what his flavor text says, but we're not here for the effects. We are here for lore. Imprisoned after a showdown with Bujin Hirume over the Sky Throne, this master schemer eventually escaped by manipulating Hirume and creating the sinister Bujinki Amaterasu, then went on to almost engulf the world in darkness, but was finally defeated by Yamato and his allies. this acts like the muse to a classic play. It tells us what the story is about and what happens at the end. Now, like all dramas, it's how the story ends is what tickles a person's pickle. How did Hiroko lose? How did they escape? How did he, and I quote, manipulate this Bujin Hirume and made this Bujinki Amaterasu? Finally, how was he defeated by this Yamato and his allies? Only one way to find out is to go over each card that makes this muse a reality. Bujin Hirume is the lady Hiruko fought, and boy did he challenge the wrong being. Her battle stats are a complete mirror of Hiruko, and I can definitely see how our BBEG would lose to a lass such as herself. Now, what is this Sky Throne? Well, looking through the cards, I think our only depiction would be these 4 pillars shown in Bujin Fidel. They have the glow that resembles Hirume's, so those must be the Sky Throne. Now let's talk about Hiruko scheming his way out of prison. May I tell you of these 2 dogs, Bujingi, Wolf, and Warg? It is in my interpretation that Hiruko corrupted Bujingi Wolf before he challenged Hirume for the Sky Throne. After that, he could work through Bujingi Warg to achieve his master plan. Manipulate Hirume and create this Bujinki Amaterasu. While I was seeing all of these cards, I found 3 cards calling themselves Bujin Regalia. We have the Jewel, the Mirror, and the Sword. Most Bujin spell and trap cards are portmanteaus, so these 3 cards, given names more respectful, must mean they're important. And for lore-wise, they are. Each of these regalia can be manifested from 3 specific Bujingi. The sword comes from Bujingi Killin, the mirror comes from Bujingi Crow, and the jewel comes from Bujingi Peacock. Using Warg to corrupt these 3 to Pavo from Peacock, Raven from Crow, and Sinew from Killin. With the power of these 4, Hiruko was able to break out of prison, and with the power of the regalia, he was able to do what is seen in Bujincident. Hiruko in the shadows took the power of the Sky Throne and is taking a big, glowing yellow hand out towards the purple electricity coated Hirume to grab her. You may imagine someone would try to help Hirume, right? We see someone has tried and failed, as we see back in Bujin Fidel. looks like a red armored man with a glowing orange energy was defeated by Hiruko. If we take notice of that yellow glowing hand that was seen in Bujin incident, this figure is going to be important, as he is the man himself, the castle of the Defend the Castle deck, Bujin Yamato. He might be down, but not down for the count if we look into the future. He would be back with his allies, but we'll cover that later. What is Hiroko doing right now? Oh yeah, creating Bujinki Amaterasu. If we look at the light rank 4 Beast Warrior XZ's monster we see here, you can see features of the Bujingi and Hirume in Amaterasu. It appears our boy Hiruko took advantage of Hirume even further while she was paralyzed by his purple lightning. What an evil man. I am impressed. But now, after what may be a long time, we have our boy Yamato walking up with his friends Arasuda and Mikazuchi, with the rest of the Bujingi that looks to be linked to each of our heroes. They will begin to fight. Yamato takes the lead with combining with his Bujingi, as we see in Bujin Carnation, excluding the sword as we see in the picture. We see Yamato become Bujinte Susanoo, following up like they are Power Rangers. Arasuda and Mikazuchi would become Bujinte Tsukuyomi and Bujinte Kagasuchi. The thing with each of these monsters' artworks is they hold the regalia that are now under Hiruko's influence. As we see in Bujin Intervention, our heroes don't have the regalia their monster card arts show. Besides that, the team is taking on Amaterasu, seeing their friend Hirume in there, and taking an intervention in the path she was forced down. And there we may have ended things here on the Art of Bujin Unity, but there are some recent cards showing us some further things. Here we have a new monster. This is Bujinki Ahashima. I can only conclude this is the result of Hirume being stripped of her Amaterasu form after our heroes defeated her, and now is taking on the color that is awfully similar to that of the Sky Throne. This is the real power of the Sky Throne given to Hirume permanently so she can be cured of her affliction and to deal with Hiruko in Bujin Candescence. finally facing the one who should have stayed imprisoned, she uses the power of the Sky Throne not to take control of our villain, but to show him the light, and quite literally. She's glowing so bright that if Hiruko were to return to her, he wouldn't only be enlightened, but also blinded. Looking at Ahashima myself, and I think I may need to put on some shades. Now, after all that, the art of Bujin unity would now happen. The three Bujin-te standing high as they bask in their victory over Hiruko. That is how this tale of the Bujin looks to end. Now we have to talk about two elephants in the room. We have no idea how Bujin Mahitotsu and Bujin Orifune fit in the grand theme, but that's going to have to be for another video if we give more support that show these two in the future. For now, we close the book on the tale of the Bujin. I hope you enjoyed this video. This took a lot of rewrites to get right, so I hope I did this archetype justice. If you want me to talk more about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stories like this one, leave a like on this video, and if there is an archetype you want me to regale you with my own research, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to share this video around and subscribe to get instantly informed for the next video I make. Who knows, we might dive into the ancient library of Yu-Gi-Oh! Once again. Until next time, everyone.